All right.
We just have to get started.
I was just going to tell Rach a story, and she goes, "You quick, hit record." I was like, we're talking about chapstick right now.
Yeah, Ty reached for a chapstick. He wanted to know Burt's Bees or cherry chapstick. And I said, of course you would want cherry chapstick.
And then I
crazy guy.
Followed it up with, did I ever tell you about my friend who used to eat chapstick?
All right.
So,
start
dude,
there.
My buddy David, back in high school, he would eat chapstick. And I'm not talking about, like, you pull open a little bit of the chapstick and you, like, lick it, which he would also do. Or, like, take a little gnaw off of it. I actually had a couple friends who would do stuff like that. He literally found this chapstick. It was a girl's. And it was, like, this strawberry chapstick. And it was long. The stick was long.
Oh, God.
He pulls out the stick and he, like, gets it out pretty far. And he just gnawed off a piece of it. And he ate it. And then throughout the rest of the day, Rach, he would, like, pull off it a little bit more. And he'd take another bite.
Oh, I just dry heaved. Oh.
He said it was delicious.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't even, like, give him the benefit because, especially back in the day, I mean, chapstick used to smell amazing.
Oh, yeah. Scratch and sniff stickers, pretty much.
Yeah. There was, like, lip smackers. And then the other thing, they'd be all, like glittery and too. So
this
who
one
knows,
was glittery.
Like, how
this
much,
one had glitter on it, too.
And I can't, like, really... like, blame him. Like, your body, I probably ingested just as much chapstick and glitter as he did that one day.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh, God, that just made me want to Ralph.
Yeah, he just gnaw into it.
Ugh.
It was probably super waxy tasting, right?
Well, yeah, it's like all wax and
Yeah.
other stuff.
It's weird.
Ew.
No, there's a story for the ages.
Hey, guys.
Merry Christmas!
Hey. Surprise, we're back. I can't remember if we said we would be back, but...
I think we intimated that it was probably going to happen.
We did what?
Intimated?
Intimated?
Am I using that right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I use words wrong all the time. I'm always afraid. Like,
insinuated? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think I'm saying it right. Here, you vamp, and I'm going to look it up.
Oh, great. Thanks. We're back for our Christmas episode.
Nailed it. Implier hint.
Oh,
yes.
My gosh. Way to go, GRE.
Studying.
But yeah, so, God, I'm terrible at vamping when you tell me to vamp on the spot. Yeah, so we're here in our closet. There's lots of clothes that need to be put away.
Speak for yourself. My clothes are put away.
Yeah, your side looks pretty tidy. I'm shook. I'm shook.
All right, Rach. I'll get us back on track.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we kind of intimated that we were going to come back for a Christmas episode after a couple of doozies for Halloween. Mm-hmm. And I think we're just going to shoot out one. So this is your one and only for Halloween. But I'm going to just spoil alert right now. We've got a couple planned for Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You're going to get two.
But let's focus on the here and now.
Oh, can I just say, I'm having a great Christmas right now.
Are you?
Like, this doesn't always happen, and especially because I love Halloween in the fall, but I was kind of a little bit, like, sad because I was working a stupid job and, like, just things were bad. I don't know what it is about this Christmas season. I've been in such high spirits.
I see that and I feel that.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, I do.
It snowed over a foot within the last 24 hours, and I thought it was I was like, this is just a blessing, you know? It's December and it's snowing 14 inches. This is great. It's like normal human beings would be like, oh, it's goddamn fucking snow, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, I'm like pumped about it.
Yeah, you literally scolded me for coming out and trying to help you shovel. You're like, get out of here.
Yeah, I was like, go back inside.
You want this all for yourself.
Yeah. I want just me in the snow. Dogs, leave. Go inside.
It is a great time of year. It really is. And I think, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. There's something extra lovely and special about right now. I don't know what it is.
I'm digging it.
I'm into it.
I'm in seasonal flow right now. And I'm a little nervous about what happens after New Year's because I think I'm going to have a crash.
Ooh.
I feel it already.
Yeah.
It's like, because I'm so happy right now, I think it makes the hurt that much more painful.
Gosh, you heard it here first.
I'll check back in with everybody in February. Be like, okay, so today's podcast is all about.
God. Ooh, Ty, what Christmas movie did we watch?
We watched The Christmas film Love Actually.
Love Actually.
Love Actually.
The 2013 modern day
2013?
classic. 2003.
Yeah, okay. I thought that was
modern
more
day
great.
classic. Love Actually.
Yes.
Could you...
I think love actually does something.
Is. All
Is.
around.
If you look for it, I've got a sneaky feeling you'll find that love actually is all around.
What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to see if there's some way, shape, or form that you could maybe put into words what this film is.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
is about as simply as you can without getting too into the weeds.
Yes. Now, imagine a tree.
Uh-oh.
Every tree has roots, and every roots are causes. They're things that create, they're nourishment. They're so much. And then you have all these branches. Now imagine these intersecting branches. You have all these people there. They come from the same place, Britain. Britain is the root. And the branches are intersecting, and there's little twigs that are like touching each other, and it's all these storylines that are going all over the place but are all interconnected through random stuff. And this is the brilliance of this movie. Sometimes they connect things through characters. Like, characters will show up in other storylines, so you'll be like, oh, that doesn't really make sense why you're there. Oh, there they justified it. Like, why this person's now in this story. And so they're all, like, interweaving into each other's stories. But one of the things they do in this film that I think sets it apart, and I've never seen New Year's Eve or Valentine's Day or any of those movies that try to, like, copy this concept. But one thing that I think is brilliant about this movie is they also use, like, not only the cinematography, but they use music to transition from one story to the other, and the music makes sense for both stories. So get this. You're in a scene, something really dramatic happens, and music starts to play. And then as we go into the next storyline, maybe the radio is on for the next character, and that song is playing as we transition into it.
Oh, sure. You're right.
So they do things like that I'm like, that's such a brilliant little thing that connects these stories. They weaves them all together. Awesome.
Ty, that was surprisingly thorough. But also you left a lot on the table.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's a
I
lot,
still have no idea what this is about.
there's
but
a lot of crazy
that was very
storylines. But it
thorough.
all circles
That's very
around
thorough.
the concept of love.
And the various types of love.
Yeah,
right?
and the various types of love. And it's not all happy.
Yeah,
some of
love
it's-
in different stages.
Some of it ends poorly.
Heartbreak love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of it ends wonderfully. It's about father-son love, love between couples, love between friends, love between coworkers. It's everything. It's all love.
It's everything.
And it all takes place at Christmas.
in the UK, which
Yep.
oh, so cute.
Christmas in UK. I like it.
So cute. Let's go through some taglines, shall we?
Ooh.
They're pretty fun. Love actually is all around.
Love actually is all around.
Yeah, I think that that's a line at like the very beginning. I think
Yeah,
Hugh Grant
Hugh
says
Grant
it.
says
And
it.
it's kind of an odd delivery of that. I think we emulated that pretty well. Just now,
Yeah,
so.
I think so. Play it.
This holiday season, all you need is love. Actually.
does it say actually?
There's
again?
no comma and there's no period there. I added that myself,
Oh,
but it does
okay.
say actually at the
Oh,
end.
okay.
Coming soon, actually.
No.
Yeah. We're getting into the weeds here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. Very romantic, period. Very comedy. No period.
What? Wait, say it.
Very romantic?
Period.
I mean, there's no,
But there's a period
There's
in
a
there?
period there.
Yep.
And then very comedy.
I hate it. That's a stupid tag. I get that the punctuation's supposed to like throw you in. You're like, oh wait, there's no period after that one. But I don't. That's silly,
no.
silly sauce.
No, last one is it's all about love. ... Actually.
They love playing on the love actually. But
They do it.
Did you find out anything about the title? About why they named it what they named it?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
No.
I was just curious if they that was in the script and they always knew it was gonna be called Love Actually, or if they walked into this movie and they didn't have a title and then they thought let's call it Love Actually, and then they created that voiceover. I don't know. I was kind of curious about that concept.
Yeah, no,
but...
it wasn't like that one film where everybody had to come up with the title, and it was about Harry Met Sally, I think, is when they had a contest to come up with the best title.
That's right.
I don't know what Richard Curtis was thinking.
Oh, okay.
If it was him. I assume it was him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Richard Curtis is our writer-director for this bad boy.
Now let me put some people at ease.
Yeah.
My soon-to-be brother-in-law, Colum, this is mostly for you.
Oh, okay.
But this is for other people who were hurt by my words when it came to Notting Hill.
I heard a lot of people. Mask that wound. Okay.
I want you to know right off the bat, this movie's awesome. So just know I'm not going to trash on it. I love this movie. So you have nothing to worry about.
I'll trash it.
Rachel's like, whatever, 40%.
Rotten.
Stupid, too many characters, didn't understand the British.
Well, that's a great segue, though, because Richard Curtis, our boy, writer of 4 Weddings and a Funeral, Notting Hill. Remember any other ones that we watched?
Bridget Jones' Diary.
Bridget Jones' Diary.
And then he does About Time, which we both love.
Yes, later on, he writes and directs About Time.
Mm-hmm.
He also, later on, writes War Horse.
Oh, really? He wrote War Horse? He wrote the play?
War Horse.
Or did he just convert it into a screenplay?
Probably the latter of the two that you brought up.
Well, he might have wrote it.
I don't know. It just said writer and had a little box checked on it.
Play.
So you'll have to do your own research if you want to know these hard-hitting questions.
When we do not the movie, but we do the stage play, Summers Off of War Horse, I'll get back to you on that.
Very good. But Love Actually actually his directorial debut.
Oh, he didn't direct those other ones?
No,
he just wrote them.
The writer for the first few, and then directed this, and then directed About Time as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was. I don't know how many times. Start drinking now every time we say actually. Okay. I think that'll be a really fun game for everybody, or at least keep track. All right. Richard Curtis was actually originally working on 2 separate films, writing 2 different movies at the same time when he got the idea to merge them into this one. There are 2 characters whose stories he was writing, and he thought, why stop at 2 when I can have 14?
Okay, it had to be the president falling in love story. The
Bingo.
Prime Minister.
That's one. Hugh Grant plays the Prime Minister in this film. A very charming, very cute.
So charming.
Not since JFK have we had such a cutie.
I would say he's cuter than JFK.
I would tend to agree with you.
He's very charming in this movie. He does this really cool look that I love with the he does the button-up shirt with no tie and just a button undone and the sports coat look. And as a president, you don't really think about that. You think of them always wearing ties pretty much.
Sure.
He looks so cool though.
He's
the coolest prime minister ever. But you didn't have to go through this, did you, Sauce Minx?
Oh, such a fun choice. Yes. Can you think of another story that he might have been writing and then thought, how can I pull this in?
I mean, the only other one I think that I could see him creating a full story about and then maybe changed it. I mean, there's a lot that could qualify for that, but I'm gonna take a flyer on this. I'm gonna say I think it was the Colin Firth storyline.
It was.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he said when the plots turned out to be so similar, he decided to merge it. Actually, yeah, that's super similar.
Which.
The themes, but very different stories.
So cool though that he decided I'm gonna merge these 2 stories into one thing, and then I'm gonna create even more stories on top of it.
Yeah,
he's brilliant with this movie.
A series of vignettes. Can you think of how many? Just a guesstimate, how many stories there really are?
So
gotcha.
When I guess on this, am I going to guess small intersections between characters, or am I only taking major stories? You know what I mean? Okay, so let me give you an example.
Yeah, give me an example of a tier and I'll tell you if they're in this count.
Am I gonna take no, because I already know the answer to that one.
They're in it. I'm just going to say go broad, go wider.
Go wide.
Go wide.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
If they had lines and we cut back to them more than once, they're in it. They're in the story.
Okay.
So how many of those stories, scenarios, does this film cover? Best guess, top of your head. 3, 2, 1, go.
12.
So close.
Oh.
Actually, wait. You were right.
I was
You're
right?
on, because
Woo!
my note says originally there were 14 different scenarios.
Oh, they cut 2.
Oh, nope, they cut 4. I
Oh,
had to
so
read.
it's 10?
There's 10.
Dang it.
That sounds like that doesn't sound like enough. I
Overshot
feel like
it.
we're missing somebody.
Oh, that's all right.
Get this though, 2 of them were filmed, or of those 4 that were cut.
Oh.
And it's a little bit problematic in today's scope if we think about the ones that were cut. So,
or did they have to do with BIPOC?
yes, there was like a black couple and a same-sex couple.
Oh,
and they had
no.
stories and they cut them.
I think it's really funny. They probably did like a test audience with the Brits and knowing like they're going
Probably.
towards Brexit in like
I
10 years. They're
know.
like, yeah, we don't like that.
I'm just not as invested in that story. It's
Yeah.
a Christmas movie after all.
Yep.
Something stupid.
Yeah.
So
I
funny.
wonder if it was the guy who is Colin's friend.
Probably. He would be a good
Because he's
one
such
to
a
go
big character in that. Or I wonder if it was Hugh Grant's secretary lady, who's the
Yeah. Did you write down in your notes that she's cute?
No, but I said that to Rach. I was like, she's really cute, and I don't remember seeing her in any other movies.
Yeah.
And we don't really talk about her ever. Like whenever you
She
talk
would
to
be
somebody
great
about
to
Love
tie
Actually.
into a little story somewhere.
Yep.
I would like that.
You mean the chunky one?
Ooh, what do we call her? Chubby?
Yeah, it's chubby. You mean the chubby one?
Don't ask me why, and for heaven's sake, don't read stuff into this. It's just a weird personality thing. But, you know Natalie, who works here?
The chubby girl?
Ooh, would we call her chubby?
I think there's a pretty sizable ass there, yes, sir. Huge thighs.
Love that line and love it in this movie. This was not originally a Christmas movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that I think the theme just kind of came later on as he was putting it all together, and that time of year was
You
coming
just knew
around.
it was in the winter time.
Yeah, well, I don't know if even that. I think he was just telling the stories, and then he was like, how's another way to tie all this together with a cute little bow? Let's make it at Christmas.
Nice pun, Rage. Killing it with the punnery.
Tanks. He did say that editing this, though,
I'm sure it was a pain in your ass.
I think the word
that
was
would suck.
a catastrophe.
Yeah, for
is what
sure.
I
That sounds
wrote.
terrible.
Well, right, because, I mean, there's just no sequence, and you could bump to anybody at any time.
Yep.
And, yeah, I don't even know how you start that, to be honest.
But let me say this. I think what he does with his editing should be majorly applauded. I love how this movie flows. And I love that there are moments where he knows, I think the audience wants to stay in sad territory a little bit longer. So I'm going to go to another scene that keeps them in sad territory. And then it's like, we've had enough sadness. I need a funny joke with this story. And I like, even if it's not a super crazy happy story, it's like, I'm going to have Liam Neeson and his son, and I'm going to have Liam Neeson say a really funny joke. And that will break them out of this doldrum.
Yeah.
I thought brilliantly paced, and how he weaves happy and sad is fantastic. Should be
Yeah.
applauded.
I think that writer-director combo in this, I think, just bodes so well for him. 'Cause I think when he was writing it, there's a lot of characters that he was actually writing for when he cast them, because a lot of the people who are cast in this are people who have either he's worked with before, whether from a writing standpoint or being on set with, and so I think he was able to get performances out of everybody that we would expect, and yeah, it was solidly put together. But what a mess!
Yeah, for
to do
sure.
that. I think on top of that too, he also mentioned that they were rushed because they were trying to get it done in time for the holidays to release, and so. Yeah, it's not like you can just like take a little bit of extra time and like, oh, we'll release in July or we'll wait. But nope. November's coming and we need to see it now.
Otherwise, you're going to have to wait a whole nother year, pretty much.
Yeah. That's really like a huge time of year for films, like that November drop date. Like you and I, we're going to see like 3 films in the next like 48 hours probably.
I don't know about that.
Maybe 2 weeks, but yeah, it'll feel like that. Okay. Fun cast facts.
Okay.
I have to just preface all of this with, much like the movie, Well, unlike the movie, that flows a little bit better. My notes for this are going to be all over the place.
It's okay because of the nature of the movie. I feel like we all are just like, I think a lot of people have seen this movie, or if they haven't, they probably need to go watch it because there's just too many intertwining factors that'll be hard to figure out without seeing it. Go watch it if you haven't seen it, you silly gooses.
Yeah.
But I think that's forgivable.
We almost had
For
the
you to go
idea
over.
to do a watch along with this one. I had this crazy harebrained idea that would be really fun. We would turn it on and we'd say, okay, ready, everybody start your film now. And then Ty and I would just be blabbing over it. But then I thought, well, we just talked about it, and I thought that might be a little tricky because then, like, who really wants to listen to us talking the whole time that the movie's going on? And you can't necessarily hear it. And you had brought up, too, that sometimes when you do that and you're not actually watching it, it's not
It can
very
be
good.
brutal.
Yeah.
If you're like going home to your Aunt Susie's and you want to just throw on Summers Off, it can be brutal if you don't have it on. It's
Yeah.
like, well, what are we even talking about right now?
Yeah, what scene is
Or
this?
like naturally you're going to be quiet while something's happening and then you'll laugh. You're like, ha, that's so funny. And they'll be like, what was so funny?
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
me. What's going on?
Yeah. I'm not over the idea.
Yeah, sure.
Someday maybe, but it just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to explore that new venue yet. But listeners, let us know what you
Yeah,
think.
maybe.
Maybe we'll do a watch along in the future.
I mean, we could
don't know.
revisit a movie we've already done too.
Two versions. You can have this version or the watch
Or you
along
could do
version.
the watch along a Predator.
You know what? Enough time has passed. I would be surprised by your facts again.
No
Wait,
way.
what?
Oh, pushing pistols, Dylan.
Oh, Dylan. Wow. My accent went
Yeah.
to shit.
We
so
can't do it anymore.
nope, won't be able to
We
do
gotta get
that
back
one.
to Arnold season.
There are 3 Oscar winners in this film. Can you name any of them?
Colin Firth.
Bingo.
He won for King's Speech.
Yep.
Bill Nighy, I bet, won.
No.
Best supporting for
No,
something?
nope, not even a nom.
Emma Thompson.
Bingo.
Yep.
Winner.
I can't remember what she would have won for, but
Anything.
yeah.
Anything she set her
I
mind
know
to.
some stuff she got nominated. And then I don't think it was Hugh Grant.
Mm-mm. Nope, not a nom either.
Ooh.
It's kind of somebody that you
Random?
wouldn't expect and you probably don't really care for in this film or in others. He probably was okay in the film he won for.
Liam Neeson?
No, he's been nominated. He's been a
okay.
nominee.
Is the
It's
guy-
Billy Bob.
Oh, Billy Bob.
Oh, I knew that was going to be our reaction. I called it.
For sure.
Yes.
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob. So those are our 3 winners and our 4 nominees. What?
What political party do you think Billy Bob was from?
Oh, for
We
this.
don't have to get politics.
Well,
we don't take sides in this podcast.
clarify.
We're a neutral podcast.
I don't know that you can be neutral today.
Didn't he seem like
So Billy
a
Bob
Republican version of Bill Clinton?
Billy Bob Thornton plays
mix.
the president in this film. Back it up for those who are like, "Why Billy Bob?" Yeah, he plays the United States president and comes over with
I
Hugh
hate
Grant.
him. He was a good choice because I hate him.
He definitely is. Yeah, he's a Southern guy. So my chances are, probably a mix between Bill Clinton and W kind of, but with him more of an edge.
Yeah. Yep. I'd
Yeah.
say Republican Bill Clinton is what I'm guessing. So that's a shot at both parties.
There you go.
You guys both suck.
No one's happy. You should be ashamed. There were 4 nominees, Oscar nominees in this film, and you named one already, Liam Neeson. We also have Keira Knightley,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Laura Linney,
Yep.
and I'm going to butcher his name, Chiwetel Ejiofor. He played Keira Knightley's husband.
Oh.
He was in, I think, 12 Years a Slave.
Yes, that's right. He
Yeah.
is in 12 years. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, sorry, I butchered that. I should have looked that up before.
No, that's all right.
Apologies.
We do our best.
Chitweddle.
Hey, we just I just actually walked for graduation today.
You did.
And because we couldn't walk in the spring because of COVID, and the lady who is reading 1,000 people's names, I was like in the front row watching her work, and you could tell sometimes she was getting stressed because it'd be like backed up, and then
Oy.
kids wouldn't have wrote on the sheet how to pronounce their names, and then they'd get pissed at her. They'd give her these little nasty looks over
like,
their
that's
shoulder.
Not my name.
And I could just tell she was like, I don't know what to do. And they wouldn't write their majors down or anything. And so she didn't have a major to say to them. And she'd be like, what's your major? What's your major? I was like, what a terrible job.
stressful.
And she was like doing her best. And that's all we can do.
Yeah.
We can do our best.
I was on my phone at that point, so I was not even paying attention
Yeah.
anymore. You were when your husband is the second name called,
Mm-hmm.
then you've got a solid hour and a half that you can just
dude.
check out.
That ceremony was 2.5 hours long. So you actually had probably more than an hour and a half.
That's probably true. Honestly, it wasn't that bad though. Sometimes those can go on and on and on, but that wasn't the worst one
That's
I've been
good.
to. I don't know what the worst one was, but it wasn't that one.
Oh, okay. I thought it was not that great. But...
Some more random cast facts. So Hugh Grant was actually, God dang it.
What?
Actually, I keep saying the word.
Oh, okay.
Was going to be in Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets.
He was going to play the Kenneth Branagh part of that.
Yes, good
Yep.
guess. I was going to ask you that. Well done.
I like that as Kenneth Branagh, though.
I do too.
Just because he's such a Shakespearean actor, I
Yes.
thought for that role that made a ton
And I
of
believe
sense.
it was because of this film that he couldn't do that because it was a scheduling conflict.
Oh,
so he had
it
to
worked
do
out
this.
perfect.
I think it all came together. There are some other Harry Potter co-stars in here. What are
Yeah.
the other? I got 3 on my list
Emma
here.
Thompson as the plant lady.
Check.
Snape.
Wait, plant lady? No, she's not the plant lady. She's the crystal ball lady.
Oh, she's Crystal Ball lady.
Yep. Mhm.
Snape.
Yeah.
And then who's our
This one's a
third
tricky
one?
one.
No.
He plays the Minister of Magic in.
Oh, Bill Nye.
yeah.
Yeah, he is in it. That's
Yeah,
right.
He's everywhere.
Yep, he takes over.
Yeah.
Like in
Mhm.
movie 6, maybe?
Yeah. Somebody would be able to buzz in and tell me
Oh.
exactly what.
Which we're watching that Harry Potter show
Yeah.
that's on TBS.
Are you guys
And
watching that?
We're both Ravenclaw, so we're like, come on, Ravens. And they beat the poopy out of Slytherins. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
As a surprise to no one.
Yeah, for sure.
If they don't come away with it,
It'll be a travesty.
it would be an embarrassment to Ravenclaws everywhere. What do you mean we don't know the book and the film the best?
You know what's going to piss me off? So here's what's going to happen. I can already tell you how the show's going to go down. Ravenclaw is going to smoke whoever's in the next round, and we'll be clear cut, they should be champions. And they'll be like, all right, so we're doing a special thing for the final show where everybody's starting at 0 again. Anyone can win the whole competition.
Oh, no.
To keep it interesting. And I'll be like,
Sure.
this is bull honky. We freaking won 2 nights in a row, and now we're here, and we have to win a third night, and somebody will be like, Hufflepuffs will sneak out a win. I'll be like, gosh dang, Hufflepuffs.
It's not unlike a regular school year at Hogwarts where the other houses are busting their butts.
Yeah.
And then Gryffindor comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh, we saved the world, so 50 points to Gryffindor.
Oh,
and-
Gryffindor wins automatically because we love them the most. Yeah, they're totally like favorite kid syndrome.
Yeah. We hate them.
We won. We're the smartest.
Give us our prize, please.
Oh my gosh.
How fun though to kind of roll with the crew who gets to be a part of all these great movies.
Yeah, for sure. These high class British actors who get to do these series together.
They
It's
have
pretty
the
awesome.
best. Honestly, if I could pick someone's career in this show, I would pick Emma Thompson's career.
Oh, I mean, she's
Wouldn't you?
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Emma
Alan Rickman too. His career's awesome.
Yeah, we need to talk more about Emma Thompson's full breadth of work as one of the best actresses of all time. We don't include her in that list as much. We're always
Yeah.
talking about Meryl. We're always talking about Blanchett and Winslet. We're always talking about these other people. We
a
need to
good-
start putting Emma Thompson in that list because
Yeah.
she's incredible in almost everything she does.
Yeah, she gets spoken about kind of like a tier 2, but she's a tier 1, baby.
She's a tier 1.
She's a tier 1.
From pure talent, she's a tier 1.
Agreed. Agree to agree. Keeping on that.
Yeah.
Again, this posse of awesome people hanging around in all these movies. Technically, the 4 leads from Sense and Sensibility,
Yep.
1995, are all in the film. Can you name all 4 leads who are in here and how they're in this play?
Okay.
I mean, movie.
Emma Thompson. She plays our lead gal.
Yep.
Her opposite, Edward Ferraz, who was my thesis role, is played by oh my gosh, Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Yep. And then Colin Firth's not in this one. He's in Pride and Prejudice.
Brandon. Colonel Brandon.
Colonel Brandon, who's played by Alan Rickman.
Uh-huh.
And
Who's our other 4th?
well, it should be
Yep.
because Kate Winslet's in Titanic, which is show for a split second. Yes. So there's our 4. There's our 4 leads.
Yes, technically, they cut to a film of Liam Neeson and his son watching Titanic, and Kate Winslet comes on the screen. So
Yep.
technically, she's in this film by stock. So technically, all 4 reunited in this
Wonderful.
film again.
Yep.
I bet she was thrilled. Kate Winslet also should be talked about as one of the greats. I think she
Kate
is.
Winslet, I feel like she is.
You think so more so than Emma Thompson, you think?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. And guys, go watch Mayor of Easttown. Oh my gosh. Incredible.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
Yeah,
I'm
she
so
is.
glad she won the Emmy. She deserved it way more than Queen's Gambit chick. She was incredible.
Another random fact that ties some of our friends together, and you actually would fall into this category too. 3 of these actors have all gotten to play Sherlock Holmes' sidekick, Dr. Watson. Okay, finish that sentence. You were not Sherlock. You were not Watson. You were Sherlock.
Yep.
But 3 of them got to play Dr. Watson.
The one dude who's in The Hobbit.
Yep, Martin Freeman.
Yeah, Martin Freeman.
Yep. Also in one of Ty's favorite scenes. We'll get to that next.
I actually do really like that scene. Let's please talk about that. And then, who else?
The other ones you're probably not going to know because one of them was Liam Neeson's father-in-law in the funeral scene.
Oh,
His name is Edward Hardwick.
Oh, okay.
Dunno. Didn't really see him very well. And then Peter Chitwell, I'm going to butcher it again.
The guy from 12 Years a Slave?
12 Years a Slave. He was the voice actor in Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh.
So technically.
I never saw Sherlock Gnomes.
You didn't see Sherlock Gnomes?
But a new passion of Rach is actually like gnome memorabilia.
Oh, no.
She's really into like diving into her Scandinavian roots. And we'll go to these little thrift stores in Minnesota, and she'll see all these little gnome statues or gnome little decorations, and she'll always be like, "Oh, those are so cute." And so, if you want to get Rach a really cool gift for Christmas, get her some gnome memorabilia. She freaking loves it.
Everyone, this is not true. This is one of Ty's favorite pastimes, is to fill people's heads with ideas of things that I do not like, including my mom and his mom. He likes to send them pics of like, "Ooh, Rach really loves this,"
It's
and then
this
lo and behold,
dirty little gnome.
and then somehow it'll show up in a stocking somehow.
You haven't gotten any yet. My mom got wise to me. She thought it was real for a while, and Rach was like, "Kathy, never listen to your son.
Do not listen to him.
He's a liar." But you guys, as faithful, you should send her a little gnome memorabilia. She'll really love it from you guys.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about Martin Freeman since we just brought him up a minute ago. So he is in this, in a scene that is a bit maybe controversial. Why don't you lay the groundwork for what the scene is?
For sure. Okay, so it starts off him and this gal. They're chatting and they seem to be getting along really well. And then you realize as the scene unfolds that they're stand-ins for like it doesn't seem like it's a porno. It seems like it's like no, because he says I stood in for Brad Pitt in that Tibet movie or whatever.
Yeah.
So I took it as they're doing a sex scene for celebrities and they're standing in for them. They're like the actors are coming in soon and they're doing like a warm-up thing.
Yeah, but
so
did you see
think,
the positions that they were doing?
Yeah.
I don't know that that's
Well, have
it.
you seen some of the movies that celebrities have done?
That's true. That's
So
a good
I
point.
think that they
Touche.
were stand-ins for like a legitimate movie.
Yeah.
And the actors didn't want to be naked in it, and so then they hired these guys to come in and do the sex scene.
But I don't think they're just getting the lighting. They're not actually doing the sex scene. I think their bodies are just like, that was what I took from it, that they're just like the stand-ins to get the lighting right so that when the real actors come and they do the scene, that
so
they don't
you
have
would
to change the lighting.
You would agree they're not in the porn business either.
Well...
See, I don't think they're in the porn business.
Yeah, maybe not.
I think they're in legitimate film and that this is their job. They come in and they help out with all the sex scenes whenever you're doing a legitimate movie.
I don't know. I keep thinking back to like the 5 cutaways of the different positions that they're
funny.
in.
It's funny. It's for comedy.
This is a scene that I think for some people, me included, especially the first time I saw it, I was a little like, oh, would we?
Rach hates the scene. I literally have it written in my notes. Rach hates I'll just call it the porn scene because it's easy to just tell what's going on.
Sure.
And every time it's on, whenever we've watched this movie with my parents and with your parents, you always tense up. Like I'm always right next to you.
Who doesn't
and you
tense up? Oh, because everyone else in the room is
funny.
relaxed?
And it's Martin Freeman. He was Bilbo Baggins. He was Watson. He's a famous actor. You know you're not like watching something that's really terrible. It's Martin Freeman.
I just think it's funny that you think I'm the only one who's uncomfortable watching sex scenes with their parents in the room.
Well, because it's comedic.
It goes two-way.
way it's laid out comedically,
It is
though.
very funny.
And then,
It
okay,
is.
let me tell you why I think this story is so valid, and I like that it's included in Love Actually. So you've got these funny scenes where they're like pretending to hump each other, and he's got to warm up his hands while he touches their boobies and stuff like that. There's just some, like on all these funny positions as they're starting to like have a crush on each other, and then at the end of their sequence, they have like they go out for like coffee or whatever or tea right after having these sex scenes, and they're like so shy and cutesy with each other even though they've already been like naked and like humped each other, and then they're at the doorstep and they're so nervous even though they've just been naked around each other all day long, and then she kisses him and that's it, and then they leave and they part. I think it's so sweet.
All I want for Christmas is you.
Right. Thank you. Good. Good night. Oh.
It is
Because
really sweet.
it has
It
nothing to
is.
do with sex. It's like they have a crush on each other, even though their occupations lead them to hump each other. They have just a crush on a little schoolboy crush on each other. It's so cute.
You are very worked up for this scene.
No, I like it. I think it's great. I think it's worthy of the movie. I like it a lot.
Di's gonna die on this hill. That scene needs to stay in.
Yo, keep it in. It's a good one.
Well, it's funny because Richard Curtis was told that they will likely make $50 million less
Because of that scene?
because if they keep that scene in. And
Because
he
they
was
had to
like,
go to R rating?
yeah, but probably. That was
Uh-huh.
probably a factor. And he was like, you know what? No, because when I was a teenager, I wanted to go to movies so I could see some nudity. And I would be letting my teenage self down if I didn't keep that in.
Way to stand firm in his ideals. I appreciate that about Richard Curtis. Good for him.
He was like, money be damned, keep it in. And you know what? It probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of it, I'm sure it made its money
Yeah.
back.
Oh, I'm sure they did just fine.
Just fine. But yeah, I mean, it is a scene that feels it's a little jarring.
Yeah.
Even now that I've kind of like accepted it, and most people I watch the movie with now have seen it or know of that scene, so it's not as odd, but I don't know, it's a little odd.
Can we talk about when we watched this movie with your family?
Yes, let's talk about it. So this was maybe
2 years ago.
Christmases ago.
Because last Christmas we watched it with my family. 2 Christmases ago we watched it with yours.
We watched it with my fam. Let me lay the scene for you. So we probably got done eating, and it was probably like maybe 7 or 8 that
No,
we started
it was probably 7. We don't start movies at your house at 8 because
Well,
we know that's doomed for failure.
It's true.
Your
it's
family
true.
goes to bed at 9.
But we probably had to do dishes and stuff afterwards, so that takes some time
Well,
before
I'll give
you're
you
ready.
7:30.
Okay.
There's no way it was 8. There's no way.
No way in hell.
No.
Actually, no way.
Actually, no way. It was 8.
So
We know your family too well.
we popped the movie in. Didn't matter. We look around at, I don't even know what point it was, probably throughout the movie, but
maybe around
at one
halfway.
point or another, everybody
Everybody.
in the basement.
We're talking every sibling,
had
every
their eye
significant
closed.
other, parents, everybody
Everyone fell asleep.
passed out. Except for Rach and I, who had recommended the movie. And so we're sitting there watching this movie by ourselves. And we're like, hey, everybody's asleep right now.
Oh, no.
And the funny thing is, whenever we bring this up to the rest of the fam, everybody always says, I didn't fall asleep to the movie. Like, yes, you did. Every single one of you fell asleep.
At least for a little bit.
For shame. Ding, ding. Shame. Ding, ding. No, but they all love this movie, though. So
Oh,
we have
yeah.
to be fair. They all love
it's
this
a good,
movie.
Yeah, it wasn't everyone's first time seeing it
No,
either.
it was
so.
my family's first time seeing it
Oh, it was?
last year.
Yeah?
They had
Well,
never
your
seen
mom
it.
and your dad?
Yeah, I think Dad had seen parts of it. Trev
Okay.
had never seen any of it, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
It was, and they all loved it.
Yeah, it's a unexpected surprise. And
Yeah.
definitely, I would say a modern day Christmas classic.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen
Oh,
it,
yeah.
I think you should probably get to it.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Shame on you. Shame. Ding, ding.
Oh, jumping back to some fun random actor facts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley. Yeah,
It's
Rach,
tough with her underbite.
Rach stuck her chin out like a real dick.
Not a
Keira
dick.
Knightley.
That's it. When people do impressions of Keira
Keira
Knightley, that's what they do.
Knightley.
You gotta hold your mouth in a certain way. And that wasn't a good impression, but visually it works.
Yeah.
So this was her second film. This is right before she gets ready to do Pirates.
Is she 17 years old right now?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the next question. How old, Ty? How old do you think she was in this?
Maybe guess 17.
How could you guess that she was 17?
I don't know, man. It just came to
I
me,
mean,
bro.
she does look young,
I
but does
think-
she look 17?
To be fair, I think we've talked about this before.
We did.
I think, so I just remembered that she was 17 in this movie.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, just a baby.
Just
a child.
baby.
She would have had to get her parents to sign off on
She
her wedding.
had to probably have. She probably had a tutor on set. Like, put
yeah,
that in perspective.
Yeah, she's by finishing school.
Yeah, she had child labor laws in effect for her.
Oof. Somebody else who probably had a tutor on set, Thomas Brody.
Is that Sam?
Sanger, that's Sam. How old do you think Sam was in this?
I'm gonna say he looks like to me he looks like a fifth or a sixth grader.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say he was 11.
He's 13.
Oh, he's short for a seventh grader, eighth
He's
grader.
13. She's 17. Think of that
That's
age gap.
wild to think about. Sam to Keira Knightley.
Yeah. They're closer to age
Whoa.
than most people on set were.
Whoa,
But-
closer to age probably than her and her husband in the
Yeah.
movie.
Chitwelly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I know.
So, can we stop and talk about him for a second?
Please. I have a little bit more about him. Yeah.
He's one of the cutest kids in the history of cute kids. And he's 13 in this movie.
He's 13 in this movie.
And now, granted, he grows up to be tall and lanky.
Mhm.
Like we see him in Maze Runner, we see him in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And he loses some of his luster. He's not a bad-looking guy, but
No, but,
he
like,
was
the
just
cuteness.
so cute as a kid.
Mhm.
So cute, like adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Incredible.
in Game of Thrones is funny because he actually plays a 13-year-old in Game of Thrones, but that was 10 years later.
Wow.
He's 23 playing a 13-year-old
Oh my
because he
gosh.
can. He just can.
That's wild.
Yeah, he has those, I think it's the eyes for me mostly,
Yeah.
like these big brown saucer eyes. He kind of has our puppy's eyes. Penny and
Penny?
him have very
He
similar
does. He has
big,
wide eyes.
doughy brown eyes.
Yeah, and that red hair is so cute. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just his whole self. He's
Yeah.
so little and cute.
Maybe school? Are you being bullied? Or is it something worse? Can you give me any clues, Bill?
You really want to know,
I really want to know.
even though you won't be able to do anything to help.
Even if that's the case, yeah.
Okay. Well, truth is, actually, I'm in love.
Sorry?
I know I should be thinking about Mum all the time, and I am. But the truth is I'm in love. And I was before she died. There's nothing I can do about it.
Aren't you a bit young to be in love?
No?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm a little relieved.
Why?
But because I thought it would be something worse.
Worse than the total agony of being in love.
No, you're right. Yeah, total agony.
Fun fact, T Swift's boy toy
Uh-huh.
also auditioned for that role.
Oh, okay.
And even met with the director, but it ended up not working out.
Sucks to suck.
Joe Alwyn. Joe Alwyn doesn't suck. We wouldn't say
Is he
that.
was he as cute of a kid as the Sam was?
I guess we'll never
There's
know.
no way.
We'll
There's
never
no
know.
way. Have you? Okay, tell me this. Tell me, have you ever seen a 13-year-old boy cuter than that 13-year-old
Oh
boy?
God, no.
Yeah,
13?
I know. Right, 13. The smelly seventh graders. You're gonna tell me some
it's-
smelly seventh graders are cuter than that
It's an
kid?
atrocious
You're out of
time
your mind.
to be alive.
That's the cutest kid on the planet.
Some other people who were considered for the prime minister, which is kind of crazy because like Hugh Grant is kind of Richard Curtis' boy a little bit.
Yeah.
So unless he was gonna put him in a different
Well,
role,
or if he wasn't going to take it, maybe he was going to take HP. Like maybe he had
That's true,
conflicts.
that's
like, Yeah, we
true.
don't know.
but he could have been Sir Anthony Hopkins
What?
or Michael Gambon, who was Dumbledore. So
What?
I don't know. That doesn't sound right because
There's
he was writing a
no
love story.
Way. They would have been
Honestly-
so. Well, I would have just been way different. They would have been old prime ministers.
Yeah.
And so it would have just been a different story. Like the old prime minister finds love and is
Yeah.
kind of like a goofy old guy.
Old love.
It would have been old love. It would have been an old love story. I'm so
Honestly-
happy we got the young, sexy prime minister who like ran for prime minister right when he turned 35 and he could. Like that's what I want to see.
I agree. I think that's fake news. That doesn't feel like a real fact.
No,
Don't
I
you
do
think?
believe it. I can actually
Can
because
you?
when you think about how young Hugh Grant is
Yeah.
in this movie,
Yeah.
like he's probably like late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
And so that's young for a prime minister.
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, when he's looking at other prime ministers, he's probably thinking, yeah, it's probably an Anthony Hopkins or a Gambit role.
Yeah.
Gambit?
Gambit.
Gambit?
Queen's Gambit. When casting the part of Sarah was played by Laura Linney.
Oh, okay, yep. Thank you.
Richard Curtis just really wanted somebody like Laura Linney. So much so that after auditioning all of these British women, the casting director was like, you know what? Why don't you just ask Laura Linney to do it?
And just make her American.
And that's what it is. Yep. They were actually originally going to try to have most people in the cast British, or UK-ish or whatever. But she was an exception. And then also the guy that she likes. I can't think of his name now.
I don't remember. But the guy
He's
from
Brazilian though.
Yeah, Xerxes, Motorcycle Diaries.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
guy.
also not British.
Yeah,
So
yep.
they made an exception for their love.
Yeah, I thought it worked. I liked. I don't know because let me tell you why I liked that Laura Linney was in this movie.
Yeah.
Because the Brits trash on America this whole movie. And granted, guys, I'm on board for it. Like, that's okay. I don't care. We're seen as like the bullies with Billy Bob Thornton. He
Yeah,
sucks.
that's
He's like,
fair.
a king of America and he sucks. And then you've got Colin who goes to America and he just like slays all these American babes. Like he's just like getting his end away the entire time.
Yeah.
And American women come across so dumb. So we're going to facilitate such terrible stereotypes of America if we don't have somebody who's like down to earth as like a normal American human being.
Yeah.
Because we can't all just be stereotypes. Otherwise, the movie's just like craziness.
Yeah.
And so I like that Laura Linney balanced out this picture of what Americans look like. It's like, no, here's a normal person.
Yeah.
We can make fun of the stereotypes, but here's also a normal person, just so everybody's aware.
Just so
There's
everyone
normal
knows.
human beings there too.
We can
And not
just
people
be
in
a little
Wisconsin
normal.
who speak like they're from New York, like the taxi cab driver who picks them up in Milwaukee. Where you off to? Like, it's like, where you going? Like, what is this weird, like, Boston, Brooklyn thing you're doing?
Dunno.
It was like a bad dialect thing, too. I was like, what is this? This is
How
Milwaukee.
did we-
Where are you going, sir?
For people who maybe can't remember which character Laura Linney is, just give it a little bit of background about her story.
Yeah, okay, so Laura Linney works with Alan Rickman,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what they really do.
No one does. It's provocative.
I'm going to say they run a magazine because I don't really know. And they all
fun.
know the photographer guy who
Yeah.
is in the Keira Knightley story. So I'm going to say he does photography for their magazine sometimes.
Sure.
So they're at some company, and she's in love with the Brazilian guy
Mm-hmm.
from Motorcycle Diaries, and is in crazy shape, just like,
Oh, it's incredible.
oh my gosh.
I can see why he got asked to play Xerxes not too long after this.
Yeah.
It's like,
His-
wow. Incredibly.
Yeah, he's got super long, flowy hair. Like his hair is so long. But anyways, so Laura Linney's in love with him,
Mm-hmm.
and she's been in love with him for a long time. She's kind of eccentric, kind of like very shy,
Mm-hmm.
very reserved. And part of her problem is they lost her and her brother lost their parents,
Mm-hmm.
and her brother is bipolar, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Or schizophrenic. Yeah,
I
one of the
think,
two. He's
probably.
got serious mental health issues.
Yep.
And is a danger to himself and others, so he's in an institution. And so she's got to be there for him, and that like drags obviously her life down to such a degree because she can't live her life.
Yeah.
She always answers her phone. She has the most annoying ringtone in the world.
Oh,
and
that's
then
exactly what you think it sounds
yeah,
like,
it's
too.
supposed to be annoying because you're supposed to be annoyed for her.
Actually, that's
Oh.
actually a really scary ringtone. I remember that playing in one of the Jurassic Park movies.
Oh.
And it's inside the dinosaur's poop. That's a weird tangent.
Wow.
For another day.
Great.
Another
Yeah,
day.
Fantastic work, Grades. But so she answers his phone and she always goes, "Yeah, I'm not busy. Go ahead, sweetheart. Fire away." She always says the word "fire away."
Can
but
you
yeah,
believe it?
yeah. But she eventually almost hooks up with the Brazilian guy, but then her brother gets in the way.
Yeah.
Like her brother needs her, and she has to sacrifice. This is one of the sad stories.
Mm-hmm.
She has to sacrifice the chance at love because she can't do that yet because she has familial obligations she has to take care of, and so she picks family love over romantic love.
Mm-hmm. I like to think that she gets a happy ending eventually.
Eventually, but we don't know. According to the movie, though, we leave the movie thinking she does not end up with that guy and that she's gonna take care of her brother for a while.
Maybe for a while. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But maybe not forever.
Because not every ending has a happy ending. I know, and that's one of the beautiful things about this movie.
I know. That's true. Another beautiful thing about this movie, Claudia Schiffer.
Oh, she's
Oof.
hot.
How much do you think she got paid for that cameo at the end?
I'm gonna say she made $300,000 for like 2 minutes of screen time.
That's exactly right.
Yes!
Only it's 200 pounds in sterling, but that's roughly $300,000.
Nailed it.
Incredible.
I'm on fire. Except for I didn't get Sam's age right. I said 11. He's 13.
That's pretty close.
So.
But yeah,
like 3
Claudia
for 4.
Schiffer makes an appearance at the end because Liam Neeson's character has lost his wife earlier in the film.
Yep.
And he makes a joke that, like, you know what? The only woman that I'm going to, like, go for it at is when Claudia Schiffer gives me a call.
Yep.
So it's so funny.
Yep.
And then, lo and behold, he bumps into Sam's mom or whoever, or someone else's mom.
Mhm.
And it's Claudia Schiffer.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
So
very
cute.
fun. Very, very fun.
Last little tidbit here, as far as a random fact. The gal who plays Sam's crush, the little girl.
Yeah, yep. Who sings All I Want for Christmas Is You?
Yep. So, as you would imagine, it's actually singing.
Yep.
Sang so well, though, that they had to tell her, hey, do another take, but don't sing it as well this time. It's not as believable because she's that good.
No, there's true. Okay, because I was actually listening to her performance this last time, and she kind of like clips some stuff, and she kind of like tightens up at certain moments that's not as free and open as Mariah, and like I thought it did lend an air of like reality to it.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I actually really like that they made her do that because she still sounds amazing.
Yes.
But at the same time, it sounds real, like a middle school girl performing a song rather than a superstar.
Yeah, well, I think they wanted to make sure that people knew that, hey, we didn't dub over this little kid's voice. Like, this is actually her singing it, and this is how you know, because every now and then, she doesn't have good breath support or something like that.
Yep.
But she got a record deal after this. So
Wow. Well, she's tremendous.
Yeah, she is. Well done.
Yeah. And she's got like a missing tooth, too.
Well, don't we all at that age? I did have one more random fact. The guy who plays Colin, who is the guy who is probably one of the least likable characters for me.
Okay.
He's so annoying.
He is, as an actor, he does a pretty good job. So here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Colin, as an actor, I think that he's pretty talented. I think he's funny. He does like some fun, quirky stuff, like acting character choice wise. But I think he's written to be overbearing though too. He accomplishes his task.
Yeah.
But I don't really enjoy watching him. And in fact, that whole story I don't really enjoy that much. But it's not that I would want it taken away, though. Like, I've thought about this last time. I was like, do I really want to... Because this is probably my least favorite story of the whole thing.
Yeah, the story being the guy who gets kind of, like, put off by all British women because he's obnoxious and he says stupid things. And he's like, you know what? I just got to go to America and get hot babe there.
And meet
I'll
January
be so
Jones
great there.
and Alicia Cuthbert and Shannon Elizabeth and Denise Richards.
It's true, because it is a funny joke, right?
Yeah.
Like an average guy there could like get like a 10 over here. Like,
Yep.
it's a joke, and I think they're playing with that joke.
Yep, for sure. Yep. I don't think that the scene needs to be as long, though. I think it drags on too much. I think it could have been quick.
Yeah.
And then you could just see him like arrive at the airport with hot babes. And I think we could have got it. Like, oh, it worked out for him. Good for him. But I wouldn't take the scene away because it is a nice moment to get away from these storylines I really care about, to just kind of take a break for a storyline I don't really care about.
Sure.
I don't know why I need that, but I actually didn't mind it this last time.
Okay. That's interesting.
What about you? What do you think?
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I could do without it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just annoys me too much. This time especially, like, just his, like, he's handing out food. And he's like, have my lovely nuts. I was like,
Yeah,
It's
yep,
just, like,
eye
such
roll.
a hard eye roll. And it's only gotten worse with time. It's
Yep.
like, oh, God, I hate this guy.
For sure. Yep.
As a woman, I hate you.
So you dislike that storyline more than the porn storyline?
As a character, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you had to cut one from the movie,
Ugh.
what would you cut?
They're both pretty bad. I'd probably still stick with the porn one, so then all ages can enjoy it at PG-13.
You cut the porn one.
I would make it a
Okay.
PG-13, so
Yep.
it feels better to be like, it's a family classic.
Yeah.
But there's that scene. That's how I would describe it to people. But there's that scene, remember. But it's a classic. You should show it. Watch it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I suppose you can't watch it in schools or anything.
No, absolutely. And it's like totally appropriate and funny and edgy the rest of the time, but it's,
Yep.
that's
Well,
saying it's like
there's some
absolutely not.
F-bombs and stuff in it, though.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, you'd clean that up because I don't know that any of them are like essential.
Well, you could just show like a cable-friendly version.
Yeah, well, that's what I watch, and I'll just fast forward through the commercials. But I was gonna tell you though that the Colin guy, the day that they filmed the scene with all the girls and them taking off his clothes, he said like, "Please don't pay me for this day." That was enough. Like being 20 takes of having my clothes taken off by these women was enough. Please don't pay me. So, Mama. 21 takes, it said. He said, "I do that for free." Ooh. Oh, here's a fun trivia. There are 2 characters in this show that do not interact with anybody else. They interact with each other.
Okay.
But they don't interact with any other person's stories directly.
Oh.
Directly.
And these are main characters.
Yes. They'll be a part of that 10 or 14 or whatever it is.
Okay. I'm really curious on this one because I wonder if I can put a hole in anything. Oh, wait.
Mm-hmm.
Keira Knightley and the 12 Years a Slave guy?
No.
Do they interact?
Yeah, they see people at their wedding.
Oh,
and-
that's true.
Yeah.
The people are at their wedding. I'm just trying to picture them talking to somebody
Yeah.
else.
No, think about... They don't talk to anybody. Other people see them or see him.
Oh, Bill Nighy and his manager.
Yes, the
Yep.
manager Joe. So Bill Nighy plays Billy Mack, who is a
Oh, my
washed up
gosh.
rock and roll star.
Okay, so here's what I love about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you watch it, when you revisit it after a year, you notice new things. New things pop for you. And you laugh at new things, like they hit harder than they did before, emotionally, comedically. And Bill Nighy this last time was slaying me. Like, so many little things that he would do. Like, I kind of memorized some of his acting choices and stuff. And they were, like, hitting me so hard this last time. I was like, gosh, he's so funny. He is so freaking funny. Oh, murdered it.
Yeah. I think he shared that he still gets called on the street. People say, don't buy drugs, kids. Become a rock star and they'll give you them for free.
Ask me anything you like, I'll tell you the truth.
The best shag you ever had?
Britney Spears.
Wow.
No, only kidding. She was rubbish.
Oh, yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Really enjoy him. Glad he's a part of it.
Yep.
He actually, I don't remember if it was the casting director or somebody. He thought he was doing a favor and just like reading it for them to kind of so they could get to hear it and see. He didn't realize that he was like auditioning for it.
Oh, okay.
And so when they offered him the role, he was like, yeah, sure. Like he was just doing it. I don't even know if he knew exactly that he was like for the rock star character. If he was just like reading parts of it. So.
Yep.
That was a happy
Oh
coincidence.
yeah, he's fantastic.
I don't know who else who could do that role like he could.
Oh man, yeah, yep, he's great.
Yeah, so good. We're gonna take a hard shift now to one of the. Well, we don't have to, I guess. This next we can be sexy flexy. This next little bit.
Okay.
Tell me about one of your favorite scenes, and I'll tell you some facts about it. Probably.
Wait, do you want me to like go like
whatever you tell me. Where do you want to go? What do you want to talk about next?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is fun. All right, so let's go to a scene that hit me harder than it ever has before.
Oh, okay. Ready.
Okay.
What scene?
Now, just a little bit of showing all my cards right now.
Okay.
Lately, this movie, I've had different stories that have been my favorite stories.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Throughout time. Like, it's changed.
Yeah.
There's a storyline that's number 2 on my list now that used to be my number 1. And that's like the scene that I think a lot of people like know about and we talk about. But I want to go to a different scene first.
Okay.
The storyline that's been getting me big time, like maybe the last like 2 years that we've been watching this movie, is the Colin Firth storyline.
Oh yeah.
I love when I first watched this movie back when I was in my early 20s, that storyline didn't touch me as much as it does now.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know why. It didn't. I just had other stories that I gravitated towards, and I always
Sure.
thought the Colin Firth story was a little lacking for me. It was probably on the lower end.
I mean, it's one of the shortest ones.
Yeah.
I feel like.
So the Colin Firth storyline, though, has been just rocking and rolling the last 2 years. This scene got me this last time. It is when after they've jumped into the water and they've retrieved all the pages, and they're standing in like the dining room area, and they both have cups of hot tea or coffee or whatever, and they're trying to warm up, and the conversation they have with the pregnant pauses between like what's being said.
Yeah.
The acting was percolating. It was on fire. I loved it. It was so good. There's so much said with nothing being said, and I was just like in love with the performances. And then like the words that are spoken during that scene, the whole thing, like my favorite time of day is when I drive you, and she's like, my worst part of my day is leaving you. I was like, ah! Like that has, I've always liked that line,
Yeah,
but this
yeah,
time
but it
I
just,
was
like,
like,
hit.
whoa, like it was like a
Aw.
gut punch, like in a good way, a heart punch of love. And yeah, I really loved it.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
that scene was killer this
Yeah.
last time I watched it.
The only random fact I have about that storyline is that lake that they jump into
Yeah.
is very not deep.
Oh.
It's only 18 inches.
So they had to pretend to swim in
They
it?
had to pretend to swim. Actually, when I watched her dive in, I was like, I was a little nervous. I was like, that's
Oh,
only
yeah,
18
yeah,
inches.
that's right,
Yeah,
that's right.
It was a
She
very
does dive in.
shallow dive. But yeah, so they had to kind of be on their hands and knees pretending that the lake was deeper than it was. It was also overrun with mosquitoes.
Oh. So was that scene in the summer then?
It might have
Because
been.
they pretend it's so cold, you know,
Yeah,
and like it's wintertime, but
yeah, Hollywood magic there.
wow, incredible. No, it's West End magic.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, so mosquitoes so bad that Colin Firth got bit so bad that he had to get medical attention
Oh,
because of all
shit.
the mosquito bites from that scene. Ugh.
Yeah.
Not have been fun. Give me another scene.
Okay, let's talk about it. Talk about your husband's favorite scene that influenced him as a young man through his early 20s.
Yes. What scene is it?
This scene is the scene between the guy from Walking Dead and Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
So, okay.
He's secretively in love with her.
He's secretively in love with her. We find out this reveal when he's been cold and kind of a dick to her the entire movie. She comes over because she wants some wedding footage, and he pretends he's like just cold to her. He brushes her off. He doesn't want to talk to her like on the phone, and then she comes over. He doesn't want her to be there and stuff. And she finds the tape and she puts it in, and then the tape starts going.
The wedding tape.
The wedding tape starts going, and this scene got me this time too, which it doesn't always, that scene doesn't always get me. Sometimes it's the ultimate scene that gets me.
with
But
the
this
cards.
time,
Yep.
this scene got me.
Yeah.
And it was she's watching this tape and she notices that his camera is like always on her. And it's all these beautiful shots that he's edited together of her. And I know it's creepy, but it's not portrayed in a creepy way. It's portrayed in such a lovely way. Like there's just this person that you love, and you created this like beautiful sequence of events of her at her wedding. And it's like less than 5 minutes. It's like a couple minute film. To me, I don't think it's that creepy. But and so she's watching this thing, and then she's like laughing about it and kind of like making fun of him at first, and then it hits, and she realizes, and you can tell he knows she realizes too, and their reactions are just, the acting is on point. It's beautiful, and then like their reaction, like everything that happens after that scene is fantastic. And then he has that whole line like right before he leaves, and he goes, "It's self-preservation. Like that's why I was such a dick to you forever. I had to, because otherwise I wasn't going to survive this." And then he leaves, and I used to kind of make fun of it back in the past, but
really?
I love this acting choice. Right after he leaves the apartment, he's about to walk away, and then he turns around, and then he starts to walk away again. Then he turns around again, and then he does this last spin, and then he finally like walks away. So there's like 3 chances where he's almost gonna leave, go back into the apartment to talk to her, and he knows he cannot do it.
Can't.
He can't do it.
I've never cried before at that scene, and that scene got me tonight.
It got me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cried too.
It was, for me, it was as watching this and like thinking like he created this as like his like last like holding on to like, this is the woman that I'm in love with, and this is her
And
wedding day, and I'll never be with her.
Yep.
It was just like it was just so sad.
It's so sad.
To
It's
me.
tragic.
It's
Yep.
tragic.
Yep. And then,
Ugh.
okay, so I want to go to the final scene.
Hold on, time out. I need to tell you my one fact about that scene.
Oh, yeah. With that scene?
With that scene.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Keira Knightley has a hat on.
Yes. It's cute.
It's because she had a giant zit on her forehead, and they couldn't cover it with makeup. So she had to wear kind of a little odd little page boy hat.
I love that that's the reasoning.
That's my only fact about that scene.
Page boy hat?
Little
It's a cute look, Kira.
It was a cute look.
It looked really cute.
Actually,
you looked
it
adorable.
worked really well. But
Yep.
okay, now the magnum opus scene.
Yes.
With the cards. Let's
Yep.
talk about that scene.
Okay.
You start.
Okay.
No, you go.
So, the first time I ever saw this movie had a profound effect on me because of this scene.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to this girl that he loves, who's with one of his best friends. I would say his best friend, married his best friend.
Yep.
And he has these cards, and they're like so beautiful, and it just is pretty much telling her like, hey, I hope that one day I can get over you, but right now it's Christmas, and I just want you to know that I love you, and I think I always will, and I hope you're happy. Kind of like thing, like not trying to do anything. And
no agenda.
He has no agenda with it, and he gives her this cute little double thumbs up at the end of it.
Yeah.
And like, are we good? And then she kind of like smiles or whatever, and he starts to walk away. And then here's where I want to pick your brain and hear how you feel about this now.
Okay.
So Keira Knightley runs up, and she gives him one kiss, and then she runs back in. And then he's kind of like looking off kind of towards the camera, and he has this great line where he goes, enough now. And then he walks away. And it's like a total great closure moment. You see them later in the movie, and you can tell that they're all friends now and everything. It's fantastic. How do you feel about the fact that she goes and she kisses him?
I'm not bothered by it.
You're not?
I've never been. No, I don't know why. Right or wrong,
Yep.
I will never kiss anyone who shows up at the doorway with signs.
All my best friends, you better not try this move.
And yet, there's just something so simple about it, and
Yeah,
just so
because-
we have closure to as an audience. I have closure about their relationship.
To me, it wasn't Keira Knightley saying like, I love you too, or I'm going to cheat on my husband with you. To me, it's like, I thank you for loving me so much and finally letting me understand what you've been going through. Here's a kiss. Let's close it now. Like,
Yeah.
let's move on now.
Yeah,
To me,
'cause
it was
it's
a
not
total
like a big crazy kiss either.
No, it's just a little. It's just a
yeah.
little peck. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, and she even takes his like lapel and she like kind of brushes it
Shakes
again.
him, like,
yeah,
all
shakes
right.
it like, hey,
Get it together.
we're good.
Figure your shit out. Stop videotaping people, you little weirdo.
Knock it off, you little weirdo.
Knock it off, you little weirdo.
If you don't, I'm going to tell your best friend, and he's going to beat your ass.
Well, the idea for how he was going to have that scene came after Richard Curtis had to workshop 5 different ideas. I don't have all the 5 different ideas, but know that all of them were terrible. All the women were like, ew, 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 gross. Like one of them, the one that I know of was like, there was like a courtyard and he was going to like fill it with roses. And all the women were like, what?
Yeah, sure.
Barf.
Yep. Well, one thing we should know about this character too.
Yeah.
He's big into big gestures, even for his buddy.
Surprises.
Gestures with
Yep.
his best friend. He does them all the time, and he's known for it.
Yeah.
So like he had to do something big. He has to do a big gesture because
Sure.
that's part of his personality. That's what he does. It's like
Yeah.
me with the where I make you go scavenger hunts.
Yeah. I don't know.
The roses. He
The
had a
roses.
field of roses.
Thank you.
Courtyard of roses.
Yeah, women were like, nope, hate it, terrible idea.
Yeah, that was a good
so
idea to
he
scrap
finally,
that.
Richard Curtis came up with the idea of the cue cards,
Uh-huh.
and he borrowed that idea from a Bob Dylan music video for the song Subterranean Homesick Blues. I know it's one of your faves. Ty, can you give us a little sampling of what Subterranean Homesick Blues?
Subterranean hillside blues. Homesick blues. Subterranean.
Is that your best Bob Dylan? Is that
Bob Dylan.
might be the worst Bob Dylan ever?
500 candles in the wind. I was just doing. I know that's not him.
Ty, do you know who Bob Dylan is?
No, you're right. Right. You're right. He's way more like, yeah, Bob Dylan. I'm Bob Dylan.
That's better.
Yeah, okay, what's the song?
Okay, you do
Candlelight in the wind.
Again, not his song, I don't believe. But
what's the name of that song?
Subterranean Homesick Blues.
Subterranean Homesick Blues.
No, that's way closer. Whew, sorry
I don't know why
that.
I was like, do some weird. He was like Creed.
Creed, yeah.
Or he was
like a Nickelback or something. It was awful. That was not good.
Oh my gosh. The other night I was singing Christmas songs in the style of Creed. And it was really fun. I can't do any right now.
If
but
you ever want a good laugh, just think of that. Or try it. It's pretty fun.
It's a pretty good time.
It's a pretty good time. Oh my gosh. Let's see other scenes. Oh, okay. Since we're kind of feeling like a little in our feels, let's talk about the other scene that gets me a lot. It didn't get me this time, but it normally gets me.
We're talking about Emma Thompson?
Yeah.
It didn't get you this time?
Not exactly. Not that point.
Oh,
there was a time later it got me.
It got me multiple times. I got twice by Emma.
Oh, you got twice.
Emma got me twice.
And she is the best. Side note before we get into that.
Yeah.
She was wearing a fat suit during this.
You know what's interesting is she has that comment about like feeling like she's fat.
Mm-hmm.
And then she has like a nightgown on at one point. And I did think like, Emma Thompson, you are usually like kind of a toothpick. Like you're pretty skinny.
Super slim.
Yeah. And so I didn't know if she like
gained weight for it.
Yeah, had gained weight for it or what happened. But the fat suit
makes sense. A lot
makes
of fat
sense.
shaming in general in this movie,
There
right?
is a lot of fat shaming in this movie.
People chubby and
that is a thing.
Fat. Across the cultures too. It wasn't just
the Portuguese family.
The Portuguese family called their daughter
Dunkin'
Miss Dunkin'.
Donut,
Yep,
2003.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. There's a lot of fat shaming in it.
A lot. I was very aware of that this time.
And you know what? In 2003, maybe that was okay. We did a lot of Yo Mama jokes. And Yo Mama's so fat. So maybe.
I guess so. Emma Thompson, one of the best scenes in the show.
Yes.
Tell me what it is I'm talking about.
Okay. So,
sorry, I make you do this all the time.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
You're good at it. You're so good.
Alan Rickman and Emma Thompson are married. They have kids. They seem to like have like a very quirky, fun relationship. But I think that it's just Alan Rickman seems like he's a little distant. But at the same time, I think that they're obviously not strong enough connected for what's going to happen.
It's
but
probably more of a companionship type of love.
Yeah, rather
and
than
maybe
like
has
a romantic
lost the
love.
Flame of
Passion. Yeah, passion is dissipated. Sure. But so he has this gal that he works with who Alan Rickman is kind of going to start an affair with. And he buys a necklace for her. There's a super funny scene with Mr. Bean. Oh my gosh. Do you have that on your format?
I do. We can talk about Mr. Talk about him now, though. Mr. Bean.
So Mr. Bean has a scene. So Alan Rickman's going to try to buy this necklace for his lover rather than for Emma Thompson. And he's trying to hide it because Emma Thompson's off buying stuff for the kids. And Mr. Bean comes out and he like gets the package. An excellent choice, sir. And he's like, don't you want it in the Christmas package? And everything. So he's got this Christmas package he's building. It takes like 5 minutes. He's got like sprigs of holly. He's got cinnamon sticks. He's got like little tiny like flourishes. He always goes, oh, we have to have the Christmas flourish. It's so funny. And I've never been into the Mr. Bean movies, really. Like, they're always just too oddball for me.
Yeah.
But Mr. Bean is fan-freaking-tastic.
Well, he talks in this. He talks. He's different than in Mr. Bean movies.
But he's so funny, though. It just shows me his comedy is just crazy good.
Ready in the flashiest of flashes.
What's the other thing he says?
Prontissimo.
Yeah, he has like this little sprig that he takes off, and then he like rubs it in his palms and like makes it into dust in the package.
Wafts it above his nose.
It, like, that smells so good. And Alan Rickman's going freaking nuts because it's taken so long. It is classic. And this gets into a little bit of like, I want to save the talk about Mr. Bean again because he shows up later in the movie too, but we'll get to that. So there's this hilarious Mr. Bean scene. Anyways, he has to like leave the package, but he obviously ends up coming back for it. Emma Thompson sees the necklace in his coat pocket. And then she has a package under the Christmas tree that's in the same square shape.
Mm-hmm.
She opens it, and instead it's the CD of this artist that she had talked about earlier in the film, like reading her emotional awakening.
Joni Mitchell.
And then she at that moment realizes, because she had even said earlier in the movie, like, so-and-so is really attractive, and he's like, oh, I didn't notice. And she's like, be careful with that one.
Yeah, she's like, yes, you did.
Yeah. And I think she's just like, hey, be careful. I can see that I think there's something she wants out of you. And so she already had her suspicions, and then this necklace she doesn't get, and so then it's confirmed, and she goes into the room, and this Joni Mitchell song plays, and it's so sad. She just okay. Here's how good Emma Thompson is. She just stands there in the room, completely still, for like about 10, 15 seconds. You almost like feel like the video is paused, and the song is playing. She doesn't move at all, and then she finally starts to move, and she kind of breaks down, and then the part that always gets me. The part that always makes me crack like into like a major sob is right before she goes out, she fixes the bed.
Yeah.
It's such a small thing. It's such a small acting choice, but she fixes the bed. And it's like one of those things that you don't know what to do when you're very emotional, and it's so freaking real. And
It's so
no
real.
director said, hey, before you go out, make sure you fix that bed. She just did that naturally as an actress. It's the brilliance of her. And it breaks me every time.
Yeah.
I go from crying to broke.
What broke me this time was right after that. So immediately she comes back into the living room with the kids, and she's very hyped, and she's like, oh, you're ready. Yay, yay. And then they get out, and she catches her breath because she's like, oh, I'm going to lose it again. Like, and it's just like
she's
that
gonna
moment
break
got
again.
me. I was like, oh, God, she's doing so well keeping it together, girl.
Well, and the other scene doesn't always get me. So after the Christmas play that her kids are in, her kid's a lobster, which is really funny, and there's a kid in an octopus costume. They're all hilarious. Yeah, and a whale.
Is a lot of
and
legs, David.
Yeah. There's a kid dressed up like one of the three wise men. He has a Spider-Man face on.
Oh, that's Richard Curtis's kid.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's so random. Hysterical.
That's why.
Hysterical because I'm like, yeah, I could imagine that. Like, I want a Spider-Man face. I'm like, okay, we'll
Right.
put a freaking Spider-Man face on you. But anyways, so after the Christmas play, they're kind of like cleaning up and stuff. And Emma Thompson has this conversation with Alan Rickman. And usually I just think it's really sad, but I've already broken on that story before. This time I broke again.
I broke again on that time
It
as
got
well.
me a second time.
Yeah, it was when she confronts him and she kind of like asks him this hypothetical, like, what should I do? And he said,
Like, what should you do about what?
Yeah, and she says like, well, this is what I've figured out. And do I leave, or do I cut and run, or do I stay knowing that it'll never be as great?
Yep.
And then like he's like, oh, I'm such a fool. And she's like, well, you also made a fool.
world-class fool.
Yes. And then this is the line that she said that broke me, where she's like, well, you've also made me look foolish. I was like, oh,
Emma Thompson.
Tell me, if you were in my position, what would you do?
What position is that?
Imagine your husband bought a gold necklace and come Christmas gave it to somebody else.
Karen.
I mean, would you wait around to find out if it... No. Happy Christmas. Would you wait around to find out if it's just a necklace, or if it's sex and a necklace, or if, worst of all, it's a necklace and love? Would you stay, knowing life would always be a little bit worse? Or would you cut and run?
God. I am so in the wrong. A classic fool.
Yes, but you've also made a fool out of me. You've made the life I lead foolish too. Darling!
you're so good. You're tier 1. You're tier 1.
You're
so
tier 1.
good.
You're tier 1 actress. Don't let anybody tell you differently.
And the writing is just so good. Good job.
Yep.
So filming for that, they just let it happen. She didn't have any instructions of like what to do. And they filmed it
Like after she opens the CD case in the bedroom?
at the bedroom scene when she goes in there. She wasn't giving any piece, like, we're just going to kind of film your time in here as you kind of collect yourself.
Yeah.
And they did it in 12 takes, and everyone just said like it was just a feat to like watch her. Like she would go in, she would cry, tidy herself up, come out.
Yep.
And then she would do it again.
Do it again.
I was like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine like being able to do that on repeat, right?
Yeah, because
like,
you
get to that place.
You get so having been an actor, so like when I was in class, we did the rabbit hole scene, which just totally breaks you. You know what scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, Rabbit Hole is a very sad play, and there's a really sad scene between the two, the mom and the dad. And so I did this rabbit hole scene, and we had to workshop it. And so you continuously are entering into the world of this material over and over and over again. And then you break, and then you enter into it again, and then you break again. And I thought that the emotional reservoirs would dry up and like it would be hard to reaccess it. And I found that it wasn't necessarily true. It was almost like the dam kept opening more and more and more. And so by the end, I like was almost like I could keep it together long enough to get to the point in the scene where it's starting to break.
Made sense.
And then it was just break, damn break, crying everywhere, bawling on stage, and like hardly able to control like sobbing, like while I'm trying to deliver lines.
Oh.
So it can be very hard, but sometimes it's like, the dam breaks and it just keeps coming.
Yeah. Ugh. Well, yeah, I don't know what to say. Just kudos to you, kudos to her for being able to do that.
Hey, I want to do this at the end, but did you mark down all the moments you cried in this movie?
I could tell you all the moments that I cried this time.
Yeah.
I always cry at some point.
Yep.
And today it was a little different, which is so interesting.
Sure. When we get done with it, I want to like,
Mm-hmm.
go through a list.
Oh, let's see. Other pieces I have. A nice piece. And it's probably one of my favorite things about it, too, is the beginning and the ending with the airport scenes and just how those are real scenes.
Yeah.
Like they just went to Heathrow for a week and
cool.
just asked people permission, like, hey, we caught this on film. Can we use this for our movie? And people were like, yeah, of
That's
course.
really cool.
So, love that.
I liked it, too, because they showed so many different types of people.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, the movie is pretty white, you know.
Right. And deals
straight.
mostly with romantic love in some ways. So it was nice.
So, it was nice to see like this other kinds of love as well, like featured in the movie at the beginning and the end. So that was cool.
Random fact, back to everybody's favorite American, Billy Bob Thornton. He's an odd guy, as we all know.
Really?
Yeah. And he has a lot of different phobias. And one of his phobias is a certain type of facial hair. And I believe it's the facial hair that has like the handlebar that kind of comes across, like kind of like a...
That links up to your
that links up to your
sideburn beard?
sideburns. So, like there's no beard, but it's just like a mustache maybe that comes across.
Mustache up to sideburns.
Yeah. Well, there's a photo of a man named Benjamin Disraeli. Don't know. Probably a previous prime minister or somebody. But
on the wall.
in the wall
on
on
Hugh
10
Jackman's.
Downing Street, there was going to be this scene where he was going to have to walk past this picture of this guy with his facial hair.
Yeah.
And so he kind of had to like prep himself to make sure that he knew where it was and so that he wouldn't look at it so he wouldn't freak out. And Hugh Grant, being kind of a little shyster.
Yeah, a little trickster.
Tried to like make it so that he would look at him.
He's
so like he would like stand in front of it and then it like would move sometimes so that he would see it. But I mean, it just confirms what we already all know in our heart of hearts is that Billy Bob Thornton is kind of a weirdo.
He's a weirdo. And
He's
Hugh
a
Grant
weirdo.
is very funny.
He's a shyster. Also knew that as well about Hugh Grant. For number 10 Downing Street, the famous address, they were allowed to walk around it to get ideas for the set, but they were not allowed to take photos and they were not allowed to take sketches or do notes. So they just had to walk around and just like do...
Just mentally
Just like
take
mentally think
snapshots.
like, okay, something kind of like this would be accurate. So that would be kind of tricky, but also probably really good for national security reasons to not have like an exact replica of what the president's house looks like. Other pieces, I feel like I have just a couple more. Did you notice in the Wisconsin scene? Did you notice what beer he asked for in Wisconsin?
Yeah. Oh, I had that written down.
Oh, I'm glad you did.
He
Tell us.
asks for a Bud. He goes, "Can I get a Budweiser, classic Bud,
King of beers.
King of beers?"
Yeah.
And do you know where Milwaukee, Wisconsin? Do you know what beer they love there? If you did your research, Brits, they love Miller Lite. It's where the Miller plant is. Get your head out your asses. Do your research.
I mean, they could have gone with Miller.
Worst part of the
Pabst.
whole movie. Worst part of the whole movie.
I know. It took me out of it for sure.
I thought, we're not in St. Louis. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
Pabst or Schlitz would have also been acceptable.
Sure.
Could have been options. Not
Yep.
that anyone would know that. I mean, that's the tricky part with sponsorship and branding, right? You get what you get, but
Yep.
I mean, then don't make it in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Go to St. Louis or
Yeah, I mean, you
something.
can make it in random Wisconsin. Don't make it in Milwaukee.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Come on.
Richard Curtis, don't you know anything about anything? Obviously not.
Yeah, ridiculous. Do your beer research. It's shameful.
Richard Curtis also has a fun little quirk where every movie that he writes, he always creates a character that's annoying named Bernard. And he does it to get back at a guy who stole his girlfriend back in the day.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Who is Bernard in this one?
So in this one, Emma Thompson's son is named Bernard.
Oh,
and
she even says, she's like, oh, he's an annoying little bugger.
My horrid son,
Yeah, my
Bernard.
horrid son, Bernard.
Bernie.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. That's awesome.
Isn't that fun?
Yep.
I would love to go back to his other movies and be like, who's Bernard in this one? All right, the last tidbit I have for you before I want to hear just random thoughts as you went through it is fitting because it's the scene that was actually filmed last, which is the dancing scene with Hugh Grant in 10 Downing, running around, dancing, being a real goof.
Yep.
Ugh. Such a funny scene.
Yeah, very classic. Yep.
Hugh Grant did not want to do the dance.
I feel like you talked about this a little bit in Notting Hill. Because I kind of.
Oh, probably.
I think I knew that he didn't want to. He doesn't like to dance. Is that right?
It is actually in this one. It's not that he doesn't like to dance. It's that he, as a prime minister, he wanted to be pretty serious in the role. And he didn't.
It's not what we want.
He didn't think a prime minister would dance or do something like that.
Well. I guess people don't think presidents play basketball, but Barack Obama always did, and it was awesome.
And he is all the cooler for it.
Yeah.
They also said that it was kind of tricky to edit because they only did like essentially one take of him doing it. But he kept singing along with it, and so as an edit, that's really tricky because then you can only like edit certain words with certain
But I liked. There's a moment where he points, and as he's
so
going
well.
around, he's like saying the words.
Yeah.
And then when he like gets caught, I think that
That's
works
the best
to me.
spot. That's the best spot. But I think the reason why you see his back so much in other spots or things is because he's singing along, and you're like, okay, actually, Hugh, we don't want you to sing along the whole thing because this is going to be really tricky. All right, let's hear just some random thoughts in Ty's head as he watched this film.
Okay. Instrumentals.
Oh, so
Can we talk about the two major instrumentals of this movie?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So the first one's the Glasgow love theme.
Oh.
Do you know that one? It's the one.
Everyone knows now.
Yep. That love theme is so good.
So good.
So romantic, so charming, so sad. There's a sadness about it.
Oh, it's used in happy and sad times, I feel like.
Yeah,
and romantic swells, but also sad times.
And then the other one is the main Love Actually theme. The when he's running through the airport.
Oh,
You know that song?
Yeah.
Did I do a bad job of singing it?
Yeah, do it again. Okay, I hear it now. I got it now. I got it. Okay. It's hard to play more than one instrument, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it totally is. Still is. So I love those two instrumentals. I think they're both gorgeous. And they play them fast. They play them slow. They play them upbeat. They play them downbeat. They mess with those two tunes so much that it's like you're constantly just using variations of these two beautiful, beautiful pieces of music that you wrote. It's pretty brilliant.
Do you think that they're going to show up on our Spotify Wrapped for next year
I don't
as
know
our
about-
number one song?
I don't know about that, but I do know they're on Ty's instrumental list. So
Can you share with everybody what we have a combined Spotify account.
Yep.
Can you share with everyone what our number one song this year was?
Our number one song and number one artist were Michael Giacchino, the composer from Lost, and the song was No Place Like Home from season 4.
And you were in the 0.01% of top listeners?
0.01% of top listeners to Michael Giacchino.
Wow.
Yep. Nailed it.
You should probably get a handwritten letter at some point. Any day now, I would expect.
Like I'm a huge fan, so.
Our number one.
Our number one. I used it in a project that helped, but I
Yeah.
also listen to it a lot just normally
It's
too.
also just a
Can't
really...
lie. I also listen to it a ton.
Yeah, it's a bop.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's so
sure.
sad. It's so beautiful.
It is. It is.
What do you think of this line? Full of dark corners for doing dark deeds.
Just all the more like She's just so obviously evil.
Okay.
Is she not? Like, she dresses up as a devil in the
I know.
in the holiday party
That's
scene.
another
like,
thing I wanted to talk
I
about.
don't know how much we can like lay it on that she is no good.
Yes. So that's the chick who's trying to hook up with Alan Rickman.
Yes, the adulteress.
Yep. And she lays it on so thick.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost too
It's
thick
jarring.
at moments.
It's
yeah.
a bit, it's brash.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't know how that happens. Maybe it happens.
And you're right. The devil costume at the Christmas party also took me aback.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd ever noticed it to such a strong degree as this last time. I was like, why is she dressed like the devil?
Yeah, it's one thing to wear sexy red dress. It's another thing to put devil horns on.
No wonder Emma Thompson is like, watch out for
Hey,
that one.
What's going on over there? There's devil dancing with my husband.
And Rach goes, because there's a scene where Emma Thompson asks, well, we already mentioned where she asks Alan Rickman she says she's pretty attractive, and Alan Rickman goes, I didn't notice. And then after that scene, they cut away to her and the adulteress chick, and she's like getting undressed. You see in her underwear, and Rachel's like, do we really need that scene? And I was like, yeah, we need to know that she's super hot.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, she is really hot.
That's
I
right,
forgot.
she is hot. Forgot about
It's a random
that
cutscene. It could probably be trimmed.
Hey, what'd you think of that French villa that Colin Firth lives in?
Oh my gosh, what a dream.
That's what it's going to be like on my first sabbatical.
Stop.
When I have to go to France to study, we're going to live in a French villa for part of it
Hey.
while I'm writing.
I'm there, babe.
But you got to keep those kids quiet. I'm writing.
I'm writing.
You don't want this to fly into the lake, do you? It's like a foot deep. And the
As long as it's
mosquitoes
not
are
mosquitoes.
terrible.
Oh, that would be bad.
Yep. How long do Firth and that Portuguese girl know each other? Because, I think it says 3 weeks before Christmas when he goes down there.
Yeah, it's kind of a countdown. So yeah. 3 weeks
And
sounds
so
right.
He sees her for like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes back and he learns Portuguese in like a week.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
then he comes
does go
back on
for-
Christmas Day, Christmas night.
I mean, yes.
That moved quickly.
And he needs his house cleaned every day?
Yeah, I guess so. All day.
All day, every day.
So here's something we need to also take into account. There are some amazingly talented people in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sam learns drums in, I think, 2 weeks.
Yes.
And becomes good enough to play for like one of the most talented singers in middle school history.
Well, luckily the actor's dad is a drummer, so he did need help with that, and he did learn how to drum in real life.
Oh, okay.
So, side note, go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's really cool.
Well, yeah, he did.
Yep. So Sam learns how to drum in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Colin Firth learns Portuguese in like a week.
Yep.
Everybody falls in love within 3 weeks. Like it's the timeline is a little jarring when you really stop to think about it. It's like Romeo and Juliet.
Sure.
When you're really wait, this all happened one day and then the next day this all happened, like, and it is kind of jarring when you think of timelines.
Well, we say Colin Firth learned Portuguese, but most of the sentences were like, "This fish is enormous."
Yeah, that's true.
Or the prawns gave me a terrible stomachache.
I did love that line. That's so funny. Can we talk about the chicks in the music video for Bill Nye?
Yeah.
Go ahead. How about you?
So there's so Bill Nye the rock star. He's got a remake of the song. What is the song? If you really love Christmas.
If you really love me, come on and let it show. But then they say, if you really love Christmas, come on and let it snow.
So great.
Yep.
But yeah, in the music video for it, I'm trying to think. I know it's paying homage to something. I just can't think of what it's an 80s thing where these models are kind of like stepping back and forth.
Yeah, it's totally an
and
80s
they're just holding the instruments essentially, right? But they're all just like,
you can almost hear the
gorgeous.
Motley Crue music video going on behind them. Yep.
And they like all at the same time like just like lick their lips. It's
overly
so
sexual.
Funny.
It's so funny.
It's
You know
so
they're
funny.
not playing any of the instruments. Like she's drumming the most like stupid drum.
And they're all in Santa outfits. I should have
Yeah.
clarified that too. They're all in Santa dresses, which is also hilarious.
Remind me to talk about Mr. Bean at the end of this. I want to.
You want to say that for last?
I think I want to save that for last.
Okay.
So I loved the line that Liam Neeson has where he talks about, this is after multiple sad scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Then they cut to Sam and Liam Neeson like laying on the couch. Their heads are both on the pillow, like facing away from each other. It's a really cute shot.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about, unless Claudia Schiffer shows up, then I need you to get out of here, you motherless
mongrel.
Because we're going to have sex in every room, including yours.
think Sam even says something like, "No, I'll just stay in rooms." Like, "Oh no, you don't. We're gonna have sex in every room, including yours." You wee motherless mongrel.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I laughed really hard at that one today.
Yep. That was so funny. Okay. Shannon Elizabeth.
Yeah, at the end of it, she has a little cameo.
And she has a cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
And she gives the worst Texas dialect I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah. Is that where she's supposed to be from?
Yeah, she's got, I mean, Denise Richards does one, and her sounds way better.
I know, but why do they have Texas accents when they live in Milwaukee?
Because they have cowboy hats, and that's a stereotype about Americans.
That's fine.
And so they both come in, and Shannon Elizabeth's Texan is god awful.
Yeah, it's wretched for the 0.3 seconds that she's on film. It's like, yeah, that's bad.
That's really, really bad.
That's real bad. And not essential. Not essential, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And okay, how much time do you think passed between the end of the movie and the very end of the movie when they come back to the airport? When like Alan Rickman had left and he comes back in?
I can answer that for you. 1 month.
You know it.
I know it. I know it to be a fact. It's a 1 month.
So the porn
later.
couple got engaged like a month into their relationship.
Yeah, it makes it sound crazy. I used to think it was a year later.
Yeah, I thought it was like 6 months.
Yeah.
But that, I guess, okay, 1 month.
1 month later.
Wow. Okay.
I believe, per my sources, which
Gotcha.
are probably correct.
All right. I want to get into Tears and Mr. Bean. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Talk about Mr. Bean.
Okay. Mr. Bean. He shows up at the end as well when we have this awesome airport sequence. It's my brother's favorite sequence in the whole movie. He loves the airport stuff.
The little boy is trying to chase down the girl he loves. Tell
And
her he
he's
loves
running
her.
away from security guards. It's pretty awesome. Mr. Bean shows up and gives him like the first path to sneak through security. And he like hands the person all this stuff, and then the kid runs away and he goes, "Oh, I must have forgot my ticket." And he walks by Liam Neeson. He doesn't wink at him, but, it's like a
enough.
sly look, like enough of a look to know that it was purposeful.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Bean a Christmas angel?
That's so funny that you bring that up because I have a fact about that.
Yeah.
And maybe
Okay.
he was going to be more of an angel, but they kind of cut a few more of the scenes away from the jewelry spot and also from the airport thing. But it did say, I think they were toying with that, like how angel do we get and how coincidental funny do we get? Like, which is it? So, I don't know.
So
I don't know.
He's taking so much time.
I thought about it.
So then Alan Rickman can't buy the gift to give to his lover. He's trying to save his marriage. And then he's helping the little boy get to his love as well. I think he's a Christmas angel. And I'm glad they didn't add more. I mean, maybe I could have used one more Mr. Bean moment. But I don't think I needed more than one more.
No.
I didn't want a lot more. And I'm okay with the amount that I got. I think it's just enough of, I think he's a Christmas angel, but other people could just say like, no, I think it's just coincidental and he's just like kind of a goofy guy and stuff. That's fine too. But I think he's a Christmas angel.
Yeah, I think they left enough not on the cutting room floor to indicate that he is in fact an angel.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think so. I think he's a guardian angel.
Yeah.
In some ways, yeah. But I'm glad that they didn't take it too cheesy.
No,
you know,
no.
I didn't want any supernatural pieces
Yep.
or anything like that, or him to fly away at the end. I think like that would have.
Yeah. Or swish his fingers and a security guard falls down, or like something stupid like that.
That's a different movie.
Yep. No,
yeah.
just enough of a hint that he's
friendly stranger.
A friendly stranger who is getting involved in everybody's business in a good way. He's trying to help
and somehow
you.
knows everyone's business without them knowing.
Yep.
Definitely an angel.
Okay. All right. So I want to go through all the moments that made me cry.
Yeah, let's hear it.
And I want you to go through your moments as well.
I'll probably have some of the same, but okay, you start.
Okay. So Firth and the gal, when they're heating up after the lake.
Yeah.
And
that romantic scene.
My saddest moment is leaving you. That was the first one.
Wow.
I know, and that scene doesn't usually get me.
I've never cried at that one.
Yep, but that one got me this last time.
But I do like it. It's a good scene.
The wedding tape.
I cried at the wedding tape. I don't think I've ever cried at the wedding tape.
I've never cried at the wedding tape ever.
Yeah.
And that one got me.
It got me.
Wedding tape got
me too.
Emma and Song. Emma and After the Show. We already talked about those two.
After the Show got me
and those two are pretty consistent. This one,
me too.
This one has been getting me the last couple times we've watched it, and it got me again tonight. The father and son moment after he tells her, And then he runs up after he like gives a thumbs up and he's like, it worked out. And then the girl kisses him on the cheek, Sam does. And then he runs over and he hugs Liam Neeson. They have a great father-son moment. Got me.
Oh.
Yep.
That's sweet.
And then the Colin Firth proposal.
Oh.
When he's saying Portuguese and she's saying English. It got me this time.
Gotcha.
So 2 for Firth, 2 for Thompson, 1 for a Walking Dead guy, and Keira Knightley, and then 1 for Liam Neeson and Sam.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, tonight I was just the Emma Thompson piece, but it was Emma Thompson after the concert.
Yeah.
That got me this time. Normally the bedroom scene always gets me, but
Sure.
I don't know. I was maybe
Preserving
tonight.
Yeah, it's about self-preservation.
It's about self-preservation. And then the wedding footage, that was it.
Oh,
tonight.
so you
Just
got
twice.
twice.
I got twice tonight.
Usually 3 you get?
Yeah, usually
I thought the
get-
wedding footage doesn't get you.
It doesn't. So I don't know what my other third
Maybe you
is.
always get 2?
Maybe it's always 2. A solid
Oh.
2, almost guaranteed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? We already went through least favorite. What's your favorite story now?
My favorite story.
Your favorite story.
I don't know. It's tricky. What's your favorite while I vamp here in my brain?
My favorite story is, I think, still the Colin Firth story. But and the Sign story might be the number 3 now. Because I'm starting to really, really enjoy the father-son story.
Yeah.
Like, that one's growing for me.
Me too.
And it might be my number 2 now.
Okay.
Yep. Hugh Grant's story has never been like a top choice for me, even though I really like it. It's always kind of been around that like 4 mark. I
Yeah.
don't know why. It's like
Yeah.
pretty consistent.
I could see that.
Yep.
I would say favorite is probably still wedding cards and the whole wedding footage,
Yep.
Keira Knightley scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, favorite is like not a great word because it's like it just hits me the most is probably Emma Thompson's stuff then, like that whole piece. So that would be the second one. And then the father and son stuff is starting to get at me too.
Yeah.
A little
Yep.
bit.
Yep. But there is like the top like 5 stories. I count Emma Thompson and the Prime Minister and the Hugh Grant story. Like those are kind of like the top 5 for me. And then you have like stories that I enjoy, like, but they're not the same. They're not at the same level.
Like the Laura Linney.
Yeah, the Laura
story
Linney
is
story.
probably a tier 2 for me.
It's good, but it's a tier 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
All right. Any other tidbits that you want?
I think that's everything I had written down.
Feel good?
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Let's get into budget and critics' consensus. Budget was estimated $40 million.
Probably all to people.
Probably all to
Yeah.
people. You're right. Gross U.S. $60 mil.
Okay.
So made it back in the U.S.
Yep.
Gross worldwide $245 million.
Well, I mean, it probably killed in the UK, but
and everywhere else, I guess.
yeah, I suppose.
Which I knew it would, but I was actually thinking that was a little low for the U.S. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, and it could have been that box office wise, we were like concentrated on other things.
That's
this
true.
might have been a movie for us as Americans that I know I didn't see it in the theater. Maybe a lot of people didn't see it in the theater, and it became like more of a cult classic once it was out.
I think you're exactly right. When it opened in the U.S., and then a week later it opened in the U.K.
Yep.
And I think it said that it opened to generally mixed reviews.
Oh.
Critics were not hard on it, but weren't like, wow, this is great. And audiences, it kind of like got word of mouth after that.
Gotcha.
And it really wasn't until like the next year and the next year after that around Christmas time that it really kind of became like, oh no, this is a current like Christmas classic. Like
Kinda
this
like-
is coming up every year now.
So it's kind of like Cats. Because Cats started off with mixed reviews, and then it's kind of just built a fan base since.
Cats.
The movie.
Has it?
Yeah. After
What
it won
do
the
we-
Razzie, it kind of turned into a cult classic.
Yeah.
People kind of love it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, and maybe this is the same or different from Cats, but this was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Picture.
I think Cats was in that Best Musical Comedy category.
You think so?
Might have been.
Might have been.
Love Actually was up for Best Picture in the Globes.
Yeah, best musical / comedy.
Oh,
picture.
okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
That
I
makes
don't know
sense.
what it lost to, but it was up.
Mhm.
So that's kind of cool. As a Christmas film.
Yeah, for sure.
Critics' consensus. Are you ready?
Yep. Ready.
A sugary tale overstuffed with too many stories.
What?
Still, the cast charms.
Okay.
Exactly. Robert Ebert said that this is a belly flop into the sea of romantic comedy.
A belly flop?
He says, like a gourmet meal that turns into a hot dog eating contest.
What?
He said that Richard Curtis tried to fit too many romantic tropes into one film.
Disagree. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
Well, I think that was all kind of initial, and I think people have since come back and be like, yeah, but it works.
Yeah.
And it's good, and we like it, regardless.
And I mean, so many movies tried to copy the concept.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree.
Are any of those movies that try to copy the concept good? You've watched more. You watch that one movie every month. Oh, what's that one with Jennifer Connelly
I can't believe you call me on this.
Bradley
I don't
Cooper?
I don't even want to tell you what it is.
No, whatever. Get whatever you want.
She's just not that
She's
into
just
you.
not that into you.
Honestly, that's probably the best out of all of
Have
those
you seen
ones.
New Year's and Valentine's Day?
I've seen.
Did you see the one with
I've
T
not
Swift?
seen New Year's. I've seen enough of Valentine's Day and Mother's Day to feel like
There's
I
a
can-
Mother's Day?
There's a Mother's
Get out
Day.
of here. Those will be coming to you shortly.
Stay tuned, everybody. Oh, do you want to know the Rotten Tomatoes?
Well, I don't know if I do anymore because I'm so mad.
Well, I'll give you the audience too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Rotten Tomatoes, 64.
Bull honky. Bull honky. That's
Audience-
Bologna. There's no
audience-
way it's lower than 70%. If you think it's lower than 70%, you're out of your mind.
I don't disagree. And the audience would agree with you. 72% for audiences.
Okay.
Does that feel a little bit better?
Yeah, a little bit, but
I
I feel like
know.
audience should be like 90%.
I don't disagrey with you, but
People don't
it's
like
not for
this.
me to decide.
What do people not like?
I think it's the
The
cheese.
Colin storyline, yeah. Yeah, I suppose. We should cut it.
That's the biggest critique that I got was that it tried to do too many of the romantic comedy pieces, that it just shoved too much into one film.
Yeah.
What
I kind of love it, so I don't know what to
I'm
say.
okay with it too, because not everything ends happy either.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
So
Yep.
I don't know.
What if I told you this isn't my top 5 Christmas movies? Would you say it's the same for you?
Top 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say top 5. I can't tell you what those all are, but I'm pretty sure I would carve out space for this one in the
Okay.
top 5 somewhere.
Yep. Because I think for me, it's White Christmas
Mm-hmm.
and It's a Wonderful Life, and this are the top 3 spots.
Wow. Those
Yep.
are definitely 1 and 2 for me in a different order, but yeah, I don't know. This
Yeah,
might
because
be
It's a Wonderful Life's your number 1. White
number
Christmas
1.
is number 2.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 3, 4, and 5 don't know. And don't know what the other contenders are. I'll need to think on this.
Okay. You
Yeah.
think on it and get back to us on Valentine's Day.
You'll be waiting with bated breath,
Bated
I'm sure. What'd you think of it?
Well, this really works now because of how sassy all the other critics are. How about this one? I actually love this movie. How do you feel about that, Roper, Ebert, Siskel, you little dicks? Yeah, that's.
Wait, is that your review?
I actually
Stop.
love this movie. That's my summary. Yeah, I give it a 95%.
Oh, wow.
It's my highest ranked movie we've ever done on Summers Off.
Ever?
It's 2% over Moulin Rouge, which I gave a 93%.
That's incredible.
And here's why I was debating this. I was like, okay, you have to make it. This is why I said I have a hard decision to make. And then you started making fun of me about something that we're going to play as a bonus material. You'll know what we're talking about in about 10 seconds.
I had a hard decision to make.
So here's why this was so hard. Because I was debating between Moulin Rouge and this movie. And I was like, okay, what movie's better? Because I think it belongs in these like top tier, like top 2 movies. And I was like, you know what? I think this is better because Moulin Rouge has that first quarter of the movie that's like schizophrenic. It's like, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
it's a bit much.
And this movie doesn't have that for me. It has a couple storylines that maybe aren't as good, but they're not bad.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? I'm going to say it's better. I'm going to give it a 95%.
I think that's so interesting because I had the exact same debate in my head with the exact same film. Because I was up in the 90s and I said, where does this go?
Yep.
Upper, below, or above Moulin Rouge.
Uh-huh.
And I came to the exact same conclusion. I watch Love Actually almost every year.
Yep.
It does not fade for me. It still impacts me. I still cry at least 2 to 3 times during it.
I think this is the movie I cry the most at.
Yeah,
I was
can see
thinking
that.
about like
consistently
a
for
movie
sure.
that makes me cry the most and most consistently. I think it's this movie.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I read research there about people who cry, and they had done research before where they said like people who cry are more empathetic, they're usually kinder, they usually like are more giving and all these things. Found out new research that's all balagna.
Oh, no.
It's not true at all. People who
Oh.
cry more are people who cry more. It has no correlation with anything else. I was like, gosh dang it. I finally have like really tapped into my emotional side, and it doesn't.
It means
nothing
from
anymore.
a benefit standpoint, other
Nope.
than you just cry more.
Yeah, otherwise I just cry more, like a little idiot. I'm always crying.
No, I think it's great.
Yep.
We're super close again.
Yeah,
I'm a
what'd you say?
94% on this.
What'd you have Mulan at?
93 or 92, something
Oh,
like
okay.
that. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's just above it. I
Yep.
put it on par with First Wives Club. and Ty.
Gotcha. Yeah,
So
yeah. So
it's
you
good.
have, so you still have like,
I have nothing above a 95.
you don't have League of Their Own, or you got Mail above a 95?
I need to bump some things, and I need to maybe prorate, I think is what we call that, take it down a little bit. So I have some work to do, but yeah, I don't have anything at 100%. Everything can be better.
No.
Nothing's
Killer
without fault.
Clowns is a 100% movie. You heard it here at Halloween. It's a 100%er. It's the best. It's still better than Love Actually.
100%.
It's great. Love Actually is great. 95%.
Love Actually is actually great. If you were counting, that was number 52.
Yep. Take your shots.
Take your shots. Well, I don't want to spoil what's for Valentine's Day because I'll be honest, I don't think we know exactly what's for Valentine's
I
Day.
know exactly what's for Valentine's
You
Day.
do?
We're doing 2 movies, and I know exactly what they are. And
Oh.
I think you do too if you search your heart.
Do you want to share on air what they are? Or should we be a surprise?
It's a
Oh,
surprise.
Oh, good. It'll be
Let them wonder. Leave them guessing.
great. I love it.
Yeah, and we probably won't see you until then, unless we decide we get a wild hair and we decide to do Mother's Day or New Year's Eve or something like that.
That would
When's
be-
Mother's Day?
Mother's Day is in May.
I was gonna say June. Okay, all right.
Nope, you're usually late.
When's Father's Day?
June.
Oh, Father's Day is in June.
There you go.
Those 2 are really bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 are my parents' anniversary. Never gonna
And your
remember.
dad's birthday.
Yeah,
We
Dad's
almost
birthday.
always miss it.
Always butcher it. Oh,
Oof.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Anyways.
Um,
Hey, happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah,
I hope
Merry
you
Christmas,
guys have
happy
a great
holidays.
time, whatever you're doing. Yeah.
enjoy the season. I'm having a ball. I hope you guys are too.
Yeah, we are.
Let's get sad in January. Let the crash hit hard. Be happy right now.
On that note, all right. Bye, guys.
Oh my gosh, we're all out of sorts. I'm already dropping f-bombs. And Rach is killing it with jokes. I didn't hit record. I didn't mean to hit record, but it was like I just wasn't naturally recording.
Well, now
Gosh
it's all
dang
going to
it.
go away.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're finishing up your...
I'm finishing stuff. I'm making a very hard decision. Very hard.
A lot of people don't know this, but Ty had a very hard decision to make.
Do you want to give him some backstory of that?
I don't even know where I would begin.
Okay. Somebody we know made a movie called The Truman Decision.
I think this is a bad idea. I think we should stop where we're at.
And the tagline is, a lot of people don't know this, but Truman had a really hard decision to make. What? I'm sorry, because I know the people who made it. They're great people. You guys are great. But what was up with that tag?